Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have missed you guys so much over the past few weeks. My videos have been a little far and few between. Just had a ton of stuff going on. March break happened, Easter break happened, so both my kids were home all day and like all of their sports and extracurricular stuff was on hiatus during that time. So I've just been trying to kind of like entertain them at home, and then my family came for March break and then they came back for Easter, and that was really awesome to have them here, but it's just been really busy. So I just haven't been able to keep up with my videos the way I would like to, but hopefully I think now things have calmed down a little bit. So I've got quite a few videos in queue to film, so hopefully things will be a little more settled. So I did want to mention to you guys really quick, I did purchase a ring light, and I'm not sure exactly how it's working right now. I used it about a week ago. I tried to film this video and it was just way too bright when I went to edit, so I've kind of rearranged things a little bit. A lot of you guys had mentioned to me since I got my new camera that the audio was better, but that the lighting had kind of gone downhill. I totally agreed with you guys, and some of you guys were really apologetic for mentioning that. If your criticism is constructive, oh my gosh, I do not mind. This is a channel that I want to grow. I really want to deliver good quality information to you guys, and I want to continuously improve just my videos. So I don't mind if you're giving me constructive criticism at all and saying like your lighting, you could tweak your lighting. That is not offensive to me at all. If you're saying something like you're ugly, well, that's not very constructive and not much I can do about it. But lighting I can definitely work on. So hopefully this is okay. I feel like it still probably needs to be tweaked a little bit, but you guys can just let me know what you think and I will work on it from there. So today I have a what's new at the drugstore video to share with you guys. Really excited about this. I have had these products for quite a while and I have used them all quite a bit now because my filming schedule cut off a little bit. So I've got some really, I want to say deep thoughts, but that's a little too much. I feel like I can give you guys a solid review on the products that I'm going to talk about. Is basically what I want to say. Oh, hi! These have really become some of my favorite videos to film because as much as I love high-end products, and I do really have some high-end products that are true to my heart, but I feel like when you really search the drugstore, there are some hidden gems, and I just love finding those products and sharing them with you guys. So I've got quite a few things to show you guys, and as always with these videos, I have found some things that I love, some things that I really, really don't like, and some things that are just kind of like midline, So anyway, let me get into it. So Wet n Wild released some new products. They have quite a few new primers. They have an eye primer. They also have a face primer. I didn't pick that up. They also have a setting spray. So I've been testing out the eyeshadow primer and the setting spray. Let's start with the shadow primer. It's called the Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. It's got a little squeeze tube. It's really, easy to squeeze out, get the right amount of product. What I don't like about this is the consistency. This is really thick. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It also has a little bit of tackiness, so it doesn't spread seamlessly right away. You really have to work at this to get it to apply evenly on your eyelids. And I actually had a little bit of an issue with it balling up on me one day. I can't say this is my favorite drugstore eyeshadow primer. I was hopeful. What I do like about it is once you do get it on your eyes evenly, it will really help your eyeshadow to stay put because it does have that little bit of a tackiness. So I did notice that my shadow lasted longer, but I really don't like having to work so hard to apply this evenly. Well, a couple that I do love and that have been, my favorites for a while, the Milani eyeshadow primer. I have the shade 01 Nude. This is an excellent one. It's very similar to like Urban Decay Primer Potion. It's just easy to use. It blends seamlessly. It really does help your shadows to stay all day long. I also really like the e.l.f. $2 or $3 primers. I think this is the $3 one. This comes with a doe foot applicator, a little bit of a nudie shade to it, but blends in kind of seamlessly, and it does really help your shadows to stay all day. So I'm not going to be repurchasing this one just because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the consistency and I really have loved these for a long time, so I'm going to stick with it. Okay, as for the setting spray, again, it just didn't wow me. I was really hoping it would, but I just can't say it's an amazing product. I did a couple tests where I just sprayed half of my face to see if maybe, one side of my makeup would stay a little bit better than the other side, and I really didn't notice a difference. So I can't say that it made my makeup stay put for any longer than it would if I didn't wear this. The other thing that I'm not like a huge fan about with this is it doesn't have the finest mist. Like, you really have to hold it back quite a bit. Oh, the mist is not the finest, and I get like droplets on my face, and you guys, I don't like this. Basically what I'm saying is I don't like this. Sorry, Wet n Wild. Let's talk about some things that I do like. Maybelline has released the lip gloss palette, and I know this has been available in the US for some time now, but it just released here in Canada. A little bit iffy on this when I picked it up because it was a little bit pricey. I think I paid like $20 for this Canadian. Not cheap. You do get 2, 4, 6, 8 colors, and you get a nice variety of shades. I had heard some really mixed reviews on this on YouTube and on some blogs. People either seem to love it or hate it. I am in the love it range. That being said, I think that something to be noted about this is that you really do need to warm these products up a bit with your finger or with the brush that is included to get the most payoff from the colors. I think most lip palettes have a little bit of a waxy coating on them, and initially when I swatched these, just, you know, one quick swipe, they were very sheer, not very pigmented, and I was like, ugh. But I took my finger, or you could also take the brush, and when you just kind of like rub your finger in it a little bit, you'll see you get quite a bit more pigmentation. You just kind of get in there, and the color payoff is much richer, but you do really have to take a moment to warm up the product. You know, it's just like when you use a lipstick, like a bullet, you're rubbing it on your lips, you're warming it up, and as you do that, the payoff becomes a little more intense, the formula a little bit more creamy, and so I think that's important that you take note of that when you're using a lip palette of any kind. I'll insert swatches of all of these. Just, you know, like I said, know that I did warm them up a little bit, but once you do that, I think these are really gorgeous. They're not at all sticky, they're very comfortable on the lips. You've got a really nice range of colors, anywhere from nudes to corals, to reds, to this kind of oxblood shade. I am wearing the second color here, which is a really pretty mauvey kind of nude shade. I really like this. I think the brush is okay. If you don't have a nice lip brush, this is definitely usable. I used it today and it was fine. I really like this, you guys. Like I said, just make sure that you warm them up a little bit, because one quick swipe of a lip palette is not going to give you the most intense color payoff, but warm them up and just, you know, take your time with it, and I think this has a lot of potential, so I really like it. Okay, so sticking with Maybelline, they have released these new chubby eyeshadow sticks. They're called the Color Tattoos Up to 24-Hour Concentrated Crayons. I picked up 2, and I picked up 2 shades that are a little outside of my comfort zone. I tend to go for warm neutrals, as you guys probably know, but I picked up this purple shade called Lilac Lust. It is absolutely beautiful, and hopefully you can tell it is so pigmented. Again, the lighting, I'll insert better pictures for you guys. They're retractable, but these are awesome. I love them so much. If you guys like the Color Tattoo cream formulas, this is like a Color Tattoo from Maybelline in the crayon like stick formula. It's retractable, really easy to apply. I have worn the Lilac Lust one a few times, and it just applied so seamlessly. It was very easily blendable. It was nice and pigmented, and it lasted all day. I was super impressed with the staying power. I didn't even have to use a primer with this. It was amazing. I have something else on my eyes today that I'm gonna get to in a minute, but the other one that I have is called Gray Crystal, and just a really beautiful kind of gray silver tone. Ooh, this would make a beautiful smoky eye. Really, really impressed with these, and I would totally recommend. Okay, let's move on to some new products from NYC, or New York Color. Demi Lovato is the new spokesperson for New York Color makeup, and she has a line called Lovatics, like Lovato, Lovatics. You get it. She's released a few things. She has a couple eyeshadow palettes. I picked up one. I have the shade Natural, and you can probably tell, let me zoom in there, I have made a good dip in some of these. I've scuffed it up. I have been using the heck out of this thing for the last couple of weeks because I actually really like it. I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, but it's really nice. I have it on my eyes today, and I think you're able to achieve some really beautiful natural looks. You do get a couple smoky colors on the ends, so you could do a slight smoky eye if you wanted. Nice mix of shimmers and mattes. You do get a nice matte highlight shade. You don't have a true black. You do get a matte gray. So you could probably line your lid with that if you wanted to, but I've been using a different palette to use like a matte black to line my lash line, but other than that, I think this is beautiful. You can see how richly pigmented these are. They're absolutely stunning. I think this is a great alternative to any of the Naked palettes if you're not wanting to spend $50. Is it a dead-on dupe? No. The colors are not quite exact and the formula isn't quite as rich, but they're pretty close. And this is like $8 versus 50 Canadian. I have several of these shades on today. My favorite is definitely this one, which is this really nice kind of champagne-y color. Of course, I always go for those all over the lid. I use some of the matte browns in my crease. Really pretty, and I'm super impressed with it. Also, Demi Lovato released a new mascara from NYC. It's called the Lovatics by Demi Volume and Length Mascara. I've said it so many times, but my lashes are very short, they're very thin, they're sparse, they're not great natural lashes by any means, so it takes one hell of a mascara to really impress me and to, you know, give me volume and length. And I think if a mascara is gonna work for me, it's gonna work for anyone. Honestly, can't say this was the best for me. It's got that like thicker, I've seen this wand before, I just can't remember right now which brand does this wand, but it's got a thicker kind of rounded bottom and a pointed top. Just really didn't give me the best volume or length. I also got a little bit of fallout with it, so can't say that it worked that great for me. If you've got naturally fabulous lashes, maybe, but I did get a little bit of flaking, so not really a huge fan of this, but like I said, the eyeshadow palette, I think. So moving on to some new things from Hard Candy. Okay, let's start with these. They have these new cheeky tints, they're called. I love the packaging. They just come in these little squeeze tubes. I picked up two. I have the shade Ballerina and I have the shade Surfer Babe. Ballerina is a really, there's cat hair everywhere. Story of my life. Ballerina Pink is a really pretty, just very pale, natural looking pink. It's what I have on my cheeks today. Gives you a very, very subtle flush of color. I definitely think this is more for fair to light skin tones, even medium. Ugh. I mean, you can build these up a little bit. This is quite sheer and quite light. Actually, they're called sheer blush gels. So they are a sheer formula. You're not gonna get a ton of color payoff if you've got any sort of a, you know, bronzy skin tone from this particular shade, but there are some other shades that I think would work well. This shade is called Surfer Babe, like I said. I actually haven't worn this one yet because I've been so into the Ballerina Pink, but you can see that you get quite a bit of color. It is sheer, but it's just pretty. It's very natural looking. Again, I think this one would probably be best for light to medium skin tones, but there were some deeper shades that would probably work better for darker skin tones. But these are very light. They feel liquidy when you put them on. Well, they are liquidy when you put them on, but then they turn to kind of like a powdery finish. They're really pretty. I can't say that enough, but they're just very natural. So I think this is an excellent summer product. If you're lounging by the pool or you're heading to the beach, you just want to throw in a little SPF, like a BB cream or something, a little bit of this, and a stain on your lips. I think you'd be good to go, and this is a great product for that. So I like these a lot. The other new product from Hard Candy are these Velvet Mousse Matte Lip Colors. Liquid matte lip colors are all the rage. I have tried many of them, and I think that it's a tricky formula to nail. And even within certain brands, like I have quite a few Dose of Colors. I've done a whole video on that. I'll link below if you're interested. Even within all of the Dose of Color lipsticks, I find like the shades vary in formulation. So I don't know. I only picked up one of these. Maybe a formula on some of the other ones are better. I didn't like this one, you guys. Sorry, I didn't. But I like the tin. It comes in a really nice, colorful little tin. The packaging is really pretty. And I got a really bold shade because I just like to do that sometimes. This is the very like purpley shade. I put it on my lips and my son was like, "You're wearing black lipstick." And I was like, well, it's kind of purple. But it is very, very dark and vampy. So I was wearing it for a while just around the house because that's what I do. And I ate a sandwich. Now I had this on for about 30 minutes before I ate. But when I was eating, my son was beside me and he's like, "Mom, I really like your lipstick, but it's all over your face." And I was like, what? This stuff within 30 minutes had not set. It did stain. Actually, I should wipe this off my hand because, yeah. See, we've already got a stain. Ooh. It's like, yeah. This stains very quickly. but it had just like migrated all over my face while I was eating, and it was like just all over like the outer ridge of my lips. It left a stain. It was super messy. And although I like the color and it was extremely pigmented, it just did not dry down fast enough. And it was too hard for me to work with. I mean, I feel like I would have had to sit very still for like an hour to get it to settle and set in a way that I could go about my day normally, like eating and drinking and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I did get a very pigmented shade. Maybe not the best example, but I don't know. I wouldn't buy any more because this one was just way too messy. Okay, just a couple more things. They are both highlighting products. Let's start with just this little baby one from Essence. This is from their Hidden Stories collection. I would have picked up more from this line. I thought it was really pretty. It was full of pastels and shimmery highlights and cream shadows and all that kind of stuff. However, people had just like ransacked the display and stuck their fingers in the product. So ugh. This was the only product I could find that wasn't opened, which drove me nuts. But anyway, this is a cream highlighter and it's in the shade number 02, Enter Wonderland. And it's really pretty. It's got a little bit of iridescence to it. I'll definitely need to insert a better picture for you guys. It's very, very subtle, but I think that's good because this packs an iridescent punch, if you will. It's very iridescent, and so if you want it to look natural, I think it should be quite subtle. It's really pretty. I don't have it on today. I have the other product on today, but I've worn it a few times. It's cream to kind of like a powder finish. I like it. And if you're into those kind of like purpley toned highlighters, which I actually do like, I think this is a nice one to try for like $3. Okay, last but not least, I broke down and I picked up the NYX Strobe of Genius palette. Now this was about $30 Canadian, not cheap for a drugstore product. That being said, you do get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different products. I'll insert swatches of all of them. Today I am wearing this shade, which is kind of like this champagne-y color, I guess. For the most part, I really do like this palette. The only color I'm not a fan of, if this is in this, is this yellow shade. It's just like a very, the only color that I'm not a fan of in this shade is this top yellowy shade. It is just, I don't know, it's too yellow gold for me. It's not flattering on my skin tone at all, but also it's not like the formula of the rest of these. It's a little bit more chalky, a little bit more powdery, and it just doesn't look that natural on my skin. So I don't like that one. I really like the rest of them. They're not like the Becca highlighters. They're not like the Hourglass ethereal lighting powders or strobing powders. They're not that finely milled, but for a drugstore like option, I think this is a nice way to, you know, have a nice variety of colors to play with the whole strobing technique. I don't think it's a bad product. I really like this purpley tone. For some reason, I'm into those kind of like purpley shades. I think they cast just a really interesting, unique, you know, glow across the top of the cheekbones. Really pretty. I also have been using this deeper color down here, which is kind of like a rose gold, kind of like a rose bronze actually, as a blush. And if you apply this and then use like some of these other colors as a highlighter, it's really pretty and you will glow. So I do like this. I don't think it's a must-have, but I think if you're not wanting to spend money on a higher-end product because you're only getting one color and you just want to experiment and, you know, play and try some different looks, this is a nice palette to pick. Okay guys, so that is it for my new at the drugstore haul. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you guys have been loving or not loving from the drugstore. If you've tried any of these products, I'd love to know that as well. Thank you for being patient with me while I've been away for the last couple weeks. I definitely have lots of videos to share with you guys coming up this week. I'm really excited. I have some new products. I have a box of things that I've been waiting to haul for forever. So that'll be coming up soon. And hopefully the lighting is improving, but I will continue to tweak it. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Take care of each other, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.